What's up, guys? We back at it again. Today, not that one. We're going to be reacting to reckless DUI driver arrested after high-speed chase in San Gabriel Valley. If you haven't already, press the subscribe button. Help me make this a full-time job. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And with that, let's get into it.
Now, what here seems to be a suspected DUI driver. This has been going on for at least a few minutes now, so we're just breaking in at this moment, but it looks like that's that gray sedan. And Jasmine, I don't know if you see it too, but on the back left side underneath the brake light, it looks like it has some minor damage on the vehicle as well. But just keeping an eye on this right now on the 10. Car going 90 plus miles an hour, right around that mark, so incredibly fast right now in traffic.
Yeah, so this was a pursuit that started with the LA County Sheriff's Department of this reckless driver, and now the desk is telling me CHP has taken over the chase because it is on the freeway now, on the 10, going westbound, still through the east of San Gabriel Valley. But you said, Gio, very high speeds, and now over 100 miles per hour.
Dang.
Again, this started with the reckless driver, a possible DUI. So who knows how this all happened? If they just started chasing him, or where exactly they spotted him, I guess, and then handed it off to CHP.
And especially the dynamic obviously becomes that much more dangerous.
He's slowing down.
Given a reckless driver, but add in the possibility of suspected DUI as well. And having that impairment just makes you worry even more about what's going on. Normally, when we're keeping an eye on these,
this car is slow.
Freeway here, you have a little bit more space to operate. Obviously there's a lot of traffic, it being a Saturday night, and you have those speeds of close to 90, 100 miles an hour. The hope is that they're going to get it under control, because right now there is no, the overhead chopper is right on top of that. Spotlight is right over that vehicle. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to lose sight of this
no, because he's too slow.
Thinking about when they're typically on those surface streets, right? If they
he's not losing these cops, not with the helicopter above him.
People, or getting in these tight corners with lights and everything else.
And on a Saturday night, I mean, there is a lot of traffic out there. Even at this hour, just past 9 o'clock. This started just a short time ago, so they are following very closely. And not sure if some of the damage that we noticed is from maybe an attempted maneuver to bring this to a halt, or if this is just somehow related to his reckless driving before we got overhead with Skycount.
Looks like he jumped, the suspect there jumped on the 605, so there was a moment briefly after getting off of that exit there to the 605 where there was a congestion, at least a little bit of it, where things slowed down quite a bit, but this driver just taking every opportunity to find the closest exit and just keep it going. But you see CHP directly, like right behind, at least one unit directly behind the suspect's vehicle, and at least a few more behind. But
we'll see if they're going to attempt something here. He is.
That's what I was thinking.
No, there's too many people on the road. They can't.
On the side of the freeway there on the 605 northbound. And this CHP officer is making maneuvers of his own.
Right.
To the left, it's, going around those cars.
It's always concerning, obviously, because
almost hit that that car
mode. This certainly doesn't
that was on the side that was broken down.
I mean, it is a hot tail pursuit with at least this one cruiser directly behind, now on the shoulder here. So it's really scary, because even just a weekend or 2 weekends ago, you were covering these crashes and other deadly incidents where you had vehicles off of the edge of a freeway, off an exit ramp, anything like that, and right, or another one where I'm remembering on surface streets backed into the back of a car that was just stopped at a red light. Any situation, any variable could be disastrous for any number of people, not just those CHP officers in pursuit, obviously not just for the driver in that vehicle, but anybody else who's on the street at this point. That's what makes it really scary.
And dark, given the visibility out there. I mean, they have the spotlight from their own police chopper overhead, but not knowing what's coming up behind you and at such speeds. Look, now nearing 100 miles per hour again before dropping back down and slowing down as he meets some of the congestion and the other drivers on the 605. But we'll see what CHP is going to attempt to do here, taking over from the LA County Sheriff's Department, where this had started. And I think they had said at one point in West Covina. And again, not exactly sure what had happened prior to tip them off, or if they just noticed, obviously the sheriffs
There's nobody on the road. Pit him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro.
The cruiser here for a moment there looked like it was almost parallel with the.
You had your chance.
You know, I'm thinking back to all the other times we obviously break in, pardon me, on pursuits and talking with LAPD and CHP, but he almost
he's getting close
right there, directly next to it.
He's giving him orders to pull over.
You'd have to assume, right?
Right.
I'm thinking of those other examples where you're caught in these.
He's drunk. That's why he's doing all
down,
this.
Right? You notice 45, close to 50 miles an hour. So certainly much better than the 90, close to 100, right?
Right.
It looks like SkyCal trying to maintain its connection there, but this is at least somewhat of a.
Looks like they lost connection. That's crazy.
What I was going to bring up was that when I'm basing off of all these conversations that we have with law enforcement, you know, if you're caught on the surface streets, right, you get a lot of going in circles, right, because they're familiar with the areas. Right. But then when you're stuck on the freeway, the alternate is this could go on for a long amount of time, right? Because you have just this stretch, right? You can start on the 10, you can get to the 605 and just get anywhere else because there's so much traffic to cover, and you can just maintain these speeds for a while, and then just like that, we're back up to 90 miles an hour right now.
And he did not,
100 miles an hour.
Whoever's behind the wheel, not even trying to heed the warnings of these CHP officers and pulling over in a safe manner. You know, you hope for that outcome. Maybe this person is, you know, as we mentioned, DUI, wasn't aware of.
What's weird is that from up here in the helicopter, wherever this is at, looks like they're going slow, but they're actually going pretty fast.
What's going on? But yeah, obviously flying down the freeway at 80, 90, 100 miles per hour.
The only positive in terms of just the last few minutes when we've been keeping our eye on this is that what you notice from SkyCal right now, it's just the two vehicles, right?
Yeah.
It's just the CHP cruiser, it's just the suspected DUI driver here, and not seeing a lot of other traffic, at least in the immediate moment. Obviously you see one or two there, but you know, it's just, you start getting even more tense once you start noting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus more cars right around the immediate area and start weaving back and forth.
Keep the lights on.
Really nerve-wracking.
Well, we have an expert on the phone.
But don't
David
put the sirens
Allen,
on.
Former LAPD officer. David, and
makes no sense to put it on if it's just going to keep going.
Another police chase through the San Gabriel Valley. What's your take on this one so far? A reckless driver is what we know.
Oh, Justin Gio. Yeah, this guy is, I tell you what, I've been watching this thing. It's been some strange activities. It's shows you the difference between the taxis from LAPD and CHP. LAPD would not ever pull up next to the pursuing vehicle that they're pursuing. As far as the driving, and just like they're going to be getting off the freeway, maybe transition. But like I've always said before, it's freeway streets, no matter what, they're always dangerous, fast or slow. But this one here, if it stays on the freeway, you know, I feel a little more comfortable with that. So CHP will stay on top of them. They'll get the air unit overhead, and they'll just keep following it.
Well, now they've exited onto those surface streets that we were worried about just now, jumping onto East Central. David, you did say the tactics. I was waiting for, I mean, would they do a pit maneuver at any point? And now that it's surface streets, it's more dangerous.
Yeah, you know, I haven't seen them do a pit maneuver unless it's really empty, and it's, I think it was you that mentioned that there wasn't that many vehicles on the freeway. But once
he could have. There was nobody. There was nobody.
Yeah, they'll go ahead and they'll pit the suspect vehicle, and it looks like they're on a side street, so you know we may see that coming up.
And you have to wonder, David, here because we've talked about this a number of times before, and I was
dude's car is slow as hell.
Conversations we've had, I'm curious if you share the thought here, where now that you're on surface streets, a lot of the times we see these scenarios where they're trying to get to a place where they're comfortable, and now it starts turning into this sort of merry-go-round where thankfully you've slowed down, but now you've added all these variables from stoplights and street signs and pedestrians walking on sidewalks. You have homes on top of it as well. It just adds a lot more chaos to what is already a chaotic situation.
Absolutely, Jill, and that's what we were talking about earlier. You know, that's one thing you have to worry about. Luckily, I haven't seen that many vehicles. I'm not sure why, but thank God there's not that many out there. You know, we look, you know, cross traffic. Earlier, we seen what happened when a suspect slammed into a side of a vehicle. It's in that car it turned upside down. But on this one here, yeah, it seems like we slowed down. So I don't know if this suspect, it appears like they know where they're going or they're talking to somebody. But, yeah, we may see a pursuit. I mean, we may see a pit maneuver, but it all depends on the watch commander on what they want to do.
Well, you can't pit maneuver now.
So that's I take you, but it could be a female also. We don't know.
These officers don't know how to do their job.
And they're entering Monrovia. Oh, sorry, David, go ahead.
Yeah.
They're just entering Monrovia. I know it's a quaint, quiet, small community, city there, and the streets are narrow. I mean,
Lag.
And packed in with homes, and so yeah, this is going to get a little more dangerous as this person just flies through there.
And Scott,
See who's in the car?
now to give you a closer look. Earlier we made the point, and I'm curious if at a certain point we might be able to get another look at it. Obviously with the dynamics of this pursuit changing and our connection going in and out from time to time, it'll be a little harder, but I did notice a small dent, at least in the bottom, right below the brake light on the left side, on the driver's side of that vehicle. You see the driver there, you got a brief snippet of it with the window down, but now it looks like in a parking lot right now. This might be toward the end of a They might have cornered and boxed him in potentially here. I mean, this is where...
Why would you pull into a freaking parking lot? Well, I gotta go get some groceries. Man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's CHP has their own rules, just like any other department. That's why most police departments, law
Cybertruck, bruh.
enforcement,
What the helly?
officers, what they do is they like to keep
Bro, just
people
stopped.
involved because they're all playing off the same rule book, playbook.
And you see the hands right outside the window there, Jasmine. It looks like this might finally be coming to an end here.
After
I
what?
think this guy's gonna, or this suspect's
10
gonna be up
minutes?
here.
And I'm glad he
Maybe longer because the video started whenever the guy was still driving.
Innocent drivers or pedestrians, at least from the point that we were
This
on.
might have been 20, 30 minutes.
Driver that went through the San Gabriel Valley and ending here. It looks near Monrovia, right off the 210.
Yeah, in a parking lot. It could be a shopping center, something of the like there. But there's the suspect just slowly making their way out of the driver's side. You see two CHP cruisers behind, so putting a wrap and a bow on this situation. But of course, I mean, you dodged a lot here from what started on, at least when we broke in, on the 10, then switching to the 605. At one point they were on the 210, and then into Monrovia here over the course of just a few minutes. At some point, getting close to 100 miles an hour. Suspect here now walking hands up, backward toward the officers, and it looks like the trees will obscure just the hair, but otherwise you can see a pretty
Put the
clear
cuffs on. Yep.
picture. Yeah, the cuffs being put on the
No,
suspect.
how? Can't even see it.
If the driver there was in our connection going in and out, whether the driver was shirtless or not, it almost
It
looked.
looks like he did not have a shirt on.
Either way.
They're going to search the vehicle.
'Cause he's
right
drunk.
as they bring this 10 in.
He drank and then he
Yeah,
just got in the car.
Make sure there's nobody in the back, or they'll check the trunk to make sure there's nobody, being captive back there. I mean, they'll go through the whole routine, and luckily this suspect, though, just the officers calling out what they wanted, he complied. So,
Yep.
yeah, this came to a nice, quiet ending. So, almost better than this morning.
Is checking the vehicle right now. It doesn't look like anybody else is inside. Obviously, he'll check the trunk as well. But I mean, just fortunate, really, considering everything that we saw in just a few minutes or so, from the incredibly high speeds to the traffic, and then the surface streets, and running through a number of stop signs and lights and everything else before closing in and finishing up on this in this parking lot. But a suspected DUI driver taken into custody here now, which you saw, what started off as an LA County Sheriff's Deputy pursuit, then shifting over to CHP, now coming to an end here. Dave, we also want to thank you for your time this evening. We certainly appreciate you giving us a few minutes on a Saturday night.
Yeah, no problem at all, anytime.
And,
Okay, and we'll be right back here on KCAL News as we see the end of this police chase.
That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.